Oh, Daddy, wherefore art thou, Daddy? Hey guys, MasakoX here. The last what if of the year and of the decade seems to be something that was a bit of a surprise experience for you all. Earlier this month, I did what seemed to be the impossible and discussed the idea and notion of a story which saw one of the most iconic characters within Dragon Ball doing something that nobody thought would happen or could happen. A very regular occurrence within the show itself and on this channel, but not with this particular character. Some of you probably know already and were very astonished to see this even happen or even me talk about it. Some even were prepared to down on it immediately. But you couldn't resist it because you were intrigued. Well, continue to be so as we continue our journey into exploring the idea of what might happen if Frieza decided to go down a route that was very unbecoming for him, and that could see him, indeed, turn good. What we were already able to establish in the initial premise for this tale is that this isn't going to be one of those stories that just sees a character, just change the drop of a hat or drop of a penny or whatever you want to drop. In fact, barely any of the official stories from the official timeline ever have that happen. It's either weird or something that would be seen as very jarring. This story is no different. This idea of Frieza becoming a good guy is something that will be treated with care, and also paying heaps of respect to anybody who has Frieza as their favourite character. Also, if you're familiar with our weekly roundtable streams where we suppose what if ideas with you and offer our off-the-cuff musings, you will know how much I have resisted this idea, but now I think I'm ready to get on and do it justice. In the last part, we established the beginnings of the change to take place within Frieza. Now, instead of Goku actually doing the deed or getting Frieza to say sorry, changing Frieza's ways like we've seen before, it ultimately came from a desperate tactic and then some badly chosen words said to the wrong person. King Cold realized and wrongly assumed that what he thought was the ultimate successor to his superior empire was not as impervious and impressive as he had thought. And as a result of Frieza's actions and bad choice of vernacular, as well as lack of response and enthusiasm for revenge, he lost his title, and then ultimately, even his place within the ranks of the Cold Force, formerly Frieza Force. It's Frieza having to start over as a nobody. You know how it was with Frost in Super? It's sort of that vibe that we're going for here. So, without further ado, let's carry on with our tale about how Frieza might have handled this whole chicanery. But also do check out the merch store for some cool stuff if you're keen on MasakoX merch or what if goodies. Thank you. Where we last left Frieza, he had managed to find himself a ship and hightailed it out of King Cold's sight, the king himself allowing this to happen, as his estimations of his former favourite pretty pink princess had vastly decreased in just a few short days. Cold was effectively casting him out, but without having to do any of the dirty work. The weakling had simply just shown himself out. Good. He won't last long out there. Not with people knowing who he is, but that's the thing, Cold. You're wrong. This could be the best thing that could have happened to Frieza. Well, the best in this timeline, obviously. Who would know what Frieza would look like now? Frieza's final form was known only to some select Cold Force higher-ups, King Cold himself, obviously, Berry Blue and Kikono, and of course Goku, Vegeta and some of the Dragon Team that saw it happen on Namek. As for your average Space Joe out there, they have no clue that Frieza had transformations. His first form to them was his only form, so this could mean a whole new world was open to Frieza. Nobody would know what he looked like. This robot hybrid, this mecha variation was the Frieza, but that's not what is on his mind right now. All he cares about right now is just getting far away from his former domain, the place he called home. The life he had lived since the day he was born, and it was all changed from here on out. King Kai had been paying attention to Frieza since he returned to his homeworld, naturally, to see what he would do, and couldn't believe what was going on, what he was seeing. With Goku on Yardrat, seemingly, he was getting a little nervy, but this time it felt different. Frieza wasn't heading anywhere in particular, and nor was he in his mothership. He was in a little planet hopper without any sense of direction or idea about what to do. Goku! You won't believe what I'm receiving here! Goku listens to what King Kai has to say, and then asks whether he poses any kind of trouble for his friends on Earth. Hard to say, but from the way he's piloting the craft and from what I can sense from his energy, he's in no condition to mount a challenge. I'll keep an eye on him and let you know. Goku takes this to mean that there's no need to do anything, and so his Grand Master Pibara instructs him to continue his meditation, to learn more about spirit control, as well as, of course, the basic technique, instant transmission. Now, if you're wondering about where this is coming from, read the manga. Frieza is indeed not aiming for any world in particular. He is taking time to process what just happened. His robotic arm, or what's left of it, is crushed and in need of repair. His empire is gone, and he can't be sure whether people would try to rat him out to his father should he venture onto a planet that was formerly controlled by himself and now his daddy. But he can't just keep flying in space forever. He would need to stop for fuel and supplies. Even he knows that. He may be mostly robotic, but he does miss the simple pleasures like a good glass of rosé. He checks out the craft's database of planets that are under the Empire's control, and locates a world which was considered to be the organization's dumping grounds for any old robotics and old tech. That could be somewhere that might be able to build him a new appendage lickety-split. Frantically, he changes course and lands on this junkyard planet seeking components and people who might be able to build him a new arm.
What do you want, droid boy?
I'm sorry, my ears are playing up. What did you call me?
Droidy boy. On the account that you're a droid.
Don't you know who I am? How dare you talk to your superior? Frieza clams up, realizing he's digging himself into a hole possibly. The mook leans in fiercely.
No, I don't. And if you ain't gonna treat me right, then this transaction will be terminated.
The Zenny drops. This guy has no clue who he is. He can just charm his way to a new arm in no time, with no worry of his father finding him. This person doesn't look very smart. He can easily run circles around him. All he has to do is play along with this bozo, and he will be on his way and able to right this wrong and get his empire back. Frieza apologizes for his outburst in a very simpering manner, and then decides to humbly request that he's acting on the behalf of Lord Frieza. Hopefully news hasn't gotten round of his abdication yet. And requests that a new droid arm be constructed for this. A mere lackey who'd gotten himself into one too many scraps, I mean. I'm sure the irony is not lost on you, good sir. Now, be a dear and patch me up, would you? You wouldn't want to upset the boss upstairs, am I right?
Yes, of course, you got any credits?
Credits? I'm sorry, what?
If Lord Frieza sent you, he would have sent a credit ship with you for the materials.
But you've got the materials already. The whole planet is made of the materials, practically, you buffoon!
Frieza or no Frieza, credits are how we do business here. If you are indeed who you say you are, you would know. You don't get anything in this empire for free. So, no credits, no patching up. Now scram. Unless you want to work for it.
Frieza's eye twitches. Work? Seriously, him? Sing for his supper? Never! Where else would he find such an ample bounty of tech to repair his damaged body without fear of anybody ever finding out who he is? He was lucky that this guy didn't grass him up to King Cold. Yet. Fine. I'll work.
I'm glad you came around, droidy boy. Now you better get started, because you're going to be working for a long time.
Frieza turns to a pile of metal, which was several hundred feet high, and was regretting his decision immediately. King Kai was trying his best not to laugh at what he was seeing. Frieza doing menial jobs. What a new low. Well, high for the king, obviously. The king was creased up on the ground, causing Bubbles and Gregory to be very concerned for their boss's health and well-being. Several hours pass, and the mechanic comes out to check, thinking that Frieza would have given up, but finds the pile of junk gone. The hillock was nowhere to be seen. All organized in the right place. Frieza was sat on the ground, impatiently waiting for this bozo to return.
Well, I don't believe it. This should have taken you weeks to shift, if at all. How did you do that?
Frieza turns and responds lazily. It's not that difficult. I'm not a weakling, you know. Nor am I a simpleton. Big stuff goes there, small stuff goes there, wires and cables go there. You'd have to be a filthy monkey to not understand that.
Name's Kit. I'll get you your arm.
Frieza follows and sits down to have his new arm fitted. Finally, some kind of service around here. While Kit fixes up a robotic arm from one of his stock, he explains that nobody has ever been able to finish organizing that pile in the past 3 years. People try to score free parts, but they either give up or just keel over out of exhaustion.
No, I'm grateful for that, buddy. It's not every day you come across a superpowered drifter. Actually, there's never been a day that's happened. Thank you.
Frieza turns away, not wanting to respond to this gratitude. Nobody ever said thank you to him before. Well, never said thank you with any kind of sincerity or a lack of quivering fear in their voice. He was getting an arm and he'll be gone. He'll be out of here. He'll be out of this dump. Whatever. Just hurry up so I can get out of here.
Whatever you say, droidy boy.
I have a name.
Oh? Well, I don't care. I'm not one for names, except my own. And besides, I like droidy boy enough that calling you anything else would be kind of weird right now.
As Frieza leaves the planet with a new arm, he is left feeling quite refreshed. Yes, he would naturally feel better with having no broken bits to his frame. He did some work and got rewarded for it, with actual genuine kindness. He had been feeling a little bored of getting everything that he wanted prior to Goku and his cronies taking everything from him, actually making him having to put in effort. This was no sign of wanting to be friends with him or anything. Kit's not his friend. But thanks to them, he was left with nothing but a ship and a drifter's life ahead of him. Okay, so what happens next? Well, this does actually cause some ripple effects, some other stuff to happen with our good guys. Since Mecha Frieza is now preoccupied with his own endeavors, when future Trunks arrives, there's no sign of Frieza on Earth, or his father, or anyone resembling them. Nobody's here, not even the Dragon Team. Well, this is weird. Mom definitely said this was the day that Frieza showed up and Goku was meant to return here. Well, what is going on is that the likes of Vegeta, Piccolo, Gohan, and Krillin are arriving to see that this new power has suddenly arrived and what it's all about. Trunks spots this and instructs them from afar that he is here to wait for Goku. At least somebody's here to tell them to come to this precise location to wait with him. He's gonna be here soon. But little do they know that Goku ain't coming. King Kai had been keeping tabs with Goku about Frieza's location, but since the Tyrant was doing nothing really, just flying through space, Goku had told King Kai to not bother him anymore with this update so he could work on more training, having grasped the basics of instant transmission. Having cleared that hurdle, Pibara offers Goku the chance to focus on a particular power that he could specialize in. If you've been au fait with the manga recently, examples could range from multiple copies of yourself, gigantification, and healing. And instead of me choosing this power arbitrarily, I am going to leave this up to you. What does Goku learn out of these three? Check out the poll up top, and your result will be carried forward now that Goku has the time to improve his training. As for Trunks, Frieza's absence has made him out to be a bit of a laughingstock. Just a guy appearing saying these things will happen and they don't. Vegeta grows tired of this hanging around in the desert waiting for a future event to not happen.
Either you tell us why you're here, or get back to your supposed future, brat! Fess up!
I don't understand. Goku's supposed to be here, and so's Frieza! Gohan steps up, twigging the fact that Frieza's still alive? Yeah, he's meant to be some kind of robot version of himself, and his dad was meant to be here. Well, that's what I was told. Vegeta scowls.
So Kakarot failed to finish him off. I knew he'd blow it. That Super Saiyan power should have been mine.
Trunks realizes that his mum might have been wrong, but he can't leave without telling these guys about the androids. It would have been a total waste of time, no pun intended. So he has no choice but to tell the group here. Before he leaves, he asks Gohan to give this heart medicine to his father should he return, because he's going to need it in about 3 years' time. What for exactly? He doesn't tell the kid, but with his mission complete to the best of his ability, Trunks heads back to the future, and the gang now have to figure out their next step without Goku around to help them. Great. Back at Cold Planet 1 though, King Cold is busy observing the creation of an advanced project which has got all of his attention. He has not left its side since day 1, the day that Frieza disappeared. The project files read similar to Frieza's and that of Cooler's, the former brother. It reads Trojan. And that's where we're going to be leaving things for right now. So what do you guys think? Do you feel that this is a good way to move things along? Will Goku's absence and Trunks' weird mission outcome make a difference? Leave a comment below and let's get this discussion going. And I shall see you in the next video. Catch you later!